Hey friends, so if you want to get out your clock, we are going to go over some key things that are on Tuesday's worksheet. If you look at page 299, you can get out your worksheet and get out your clock. I want you to see this firsthand, okay? Meet me back here in a second. Okay, so you can see on number 1 on page 299, it says, mark the circle of the clock that shows 1 half hour later. Well, how long is a half hour? If 1 whole hour is 60 minutes, we know that half of the hour is 30 minutes. So any time that we go 30 minutes, a half hour has passed, okay? So I want us to look, for example, it is 12 o'clock. So what time would it be if it's a half hour later? So that means I need to add 30 minutes to my time, okay? So let's count. Remember when we count with our minutes, it increases by 5, okay? So we want to get all the way to 30, and that will show us what time it would be if a half hour has passed, okay? So here we go. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. So what time is it now that half an hour has passed? 12:30. Very good. Now, set your clock to, let's do 4 o'clock, okay? Set your clock to 4 o'clock. Should look like this, 4 o'clock. Hour hand is pointing at the 4, minute hand is pointing straight up to the 12. Now, I want to know what time it would be if a half hour passes from right now at this time. So let's add 30 minutes to it, moving our minute hand. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. So what time is it now that half an hour has passed? Now it is 4:30. Let's do one more, okay? I want you, well, let's stay at 4:30, okay? It's 4:30. Now I want to see another half hour pass. What time would it be if 30 more minutes passes, a half hour passes? Let's count it out. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. So what time would it be now? 5 o'clock. That's right. Very good. Okay, so if you look at number 1, I'm going to set my clock to show what time. The first one says it is 3 o'clock, okay? We want to take 3 o'clock and we want to show a half hour later. So let's do what we just did in order to answer number 1, okay? We're going to add 30 minutes to it, a half hour. So here we go. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. So is there an answer choice that says 3:30? That's correct. The very first clock. You can mark under the circle of the very first clock. Very good. Okay. Now let's set our clocks to the next time that it gives us. It says 9:30. So I'm going to set mine to 9:30. And we want to see what time it would be if 30 minutes has passed. So let's count out 30 minutes, moving our minute hand as we go. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. What time would it be? 10 o'clock. Is there an answer choice that says 10 o'clock? Yes, it's the third answer choice. The third clock says 10 o'clock. So that would be the circle that you're going to mark under. Very good, guys. Okay, so I think you can do the rest of the front sheet on your own. But on the back, if you will go ahead and turn there with me to page 300. If you look at 300, I'm going to give you, if you remember, we called it data, okay? So we're not together right now, so I can't ask everyone to vote on their favorite sandwich. So I've come up with some numbers, and we're going to create some tally marks, create a graph to go along with our information, and then we're going to answer some questions with that, okay? So let me move out of the way of my board. All right, so what they asked you to do, it says use tally marks to show how many students in the survey choose each sandwich, okay? So I have decided on some numbers here for your information. Let's say that 4 students voted for peanut butter. Let's say that 15 students voted for grilled cheese. I know I have one of my students loves grilled cheese. So let's put a 15 here. And then let's just say that 10 students voted for turkey as their favorite type of sandwich. Now, number 1 asks us to show tally marks to show how many students voted for each. Remember, 1 mark is for 1 vote, okay? So for 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. If you need to pause it, you can. All right, now let's look at the grilled cheese. All right, so let's start. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4. What do I do here? That's right. For every 5th tally mark, you put a slash through. Then I start a new group. 1, 2, 3, 4, slash. So now I have 10. Might need to make this box a little bit bigger. 1, 2, 3, 4, slash. So I have 3 groups of 5. Let's count them by 5s. 5, 10, 15. Is that correct? Yes, it is. Okay, and turkey. We have 10, okay? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Very good. 5, 10. 10 turkey sandwiches. There we go. All right, so please excuse my graph. I couldn't put a worksheet up here for you, so I drew out my graph as best as I could. I'm not an artist by any means. So let's take a look at how we can put our information from our tally marks into our graph here. So if you look at it, it gives room for peanut butter. So that means that we're going to go this way to show how many liked peanut butter, how many liked grilled cheese, and how many liked turkey. If you look at the bottom, you'll see some numbers here, okay? It's going to make it easier for us to count and make sure that we are correct, okay? Instead of just 1, 2, 3, 4, we can look at the bottom here, and sometimes we might be able to count by something other than ones, all right? So let's look and see. Let's do peanut butter first. Peanut butter, how many people voted for peanut butter? 4, that's correct. So if we look down here, this counts by 5s for me, but if you look, each one of these lines here counts as 1, okay? So if I were right here, it would basically be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, correct? Okay, so each of these spaces would represent 1. So we would have 1, 2, 3, 4. So you could color in, I'm just going to color it in this way, all the way to 4, okay? And then if you follow it all the way down, oh, I lost it. If you follow it all the way down, it should stop at 4. It shouldn't go into the 5th space. All right, let's look at grilled cheese now. Grilled cheese, we've got 15. How does my black numbers down here, what do they count by? 5s. So that actually makes it easier for me because take a look. Instead of having to count each individual one like I did for 4, I can just count by 5s. 5, 10, 15. Or you might have noticed that there was already a 15 down here. All you had to do was find it, correct? Okay, so I'm going to use a different color for this one. I'm going to use my green. Okay, so I'm going to move up and see. I've got my 15 here, so I'm going to stop here at 15. I'm not going to go on the other side of the 15 because that means 16. I don't want to go that far. I want to stop at 15. So again, I'm going to start at 0, and I'm going to fill all this in here all the way until I get to the 15th mark. Okay. Now you can fill it all in nice and pretty with your crayons or your pencil or whatever you wanted to use, but it might take me a while. So I'm going to stop at 15, and if I follow the end line all the way down, I would get to 15. Now my last one is turkey. How many people voted for turkey? 10. That's correct. So again, just like with 15, I see that there's already a 10 here. If I didn't see that, I would notice that I'm counting by 5. So 5, 10, this is where I want to stop. Or if you were just counting by ones, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, but I want you to get used to figuring out how is it counting by, okay? That makes it a lot faster and more efficient for you to get to your correct answer, okay? So 5, 10, So I want to make sure that I stop here whenever I am graphing. That's what it'd be called when I'm graphing my turkey sandwich information. So I'm going to go all the way here to 10. Okay. Now if I follow it all the way down, I should be at 10. I shouldn't be past 10. Okay, and I should be all the way to the 10 line. I shouldn't be anywhere back here, okay, because in that case I wouldn't have graphed it correctly, okay. Let's take a look at the questions that it's asking you. It says mark under the correct answer. Let's read question A. Read it out loud with me. Which sandwich do most students like best? Let's look at our graph to answer that. Which one of them goes out the farthest? The grilled cheese. So that would mean that students like the grilled cheese the most because that's the one where the graph comes out the longest, okay? So go ahead and fill in grilled cheese. Now read question B with me. Which sandwich do the fewest students like? Okay, so if the longest one is the one they like the most, then what would be the one that they like the least? The one that's the shortest. Very good. So if I know this one is the favorite, peanut butter, very good. Peanut butter is the one they like the least. So you can color in the circle under peanut butter. Okay, now let's read question C out loud together. Which sandwich did you choose in the survey? So I didn't get to ask you that, everyone individually, but I want you to choose. Do you like peanut butter better? Do you like grilled cheese? Or do you like turkey best? You can go ahead and decide. So after you do that, I want you to finish up your worksheet, and I'll see you later. Bye.